Okay, so here's your question here. Notice it talks about it's determining a percentage of people who support her. So you're talking about a sample size for a proportion confidence interval. In the notes, if you go to the PowerPoint notes, page or slide 64, there's a formula for sample size of a proportion confidence interval. So I copied that over. So we have z alpha over 2. I think you already found that, but we can do that again. I'll just draw this out. So we want it's 90%. So we have 90 here, 5 and 5. So we're going to look for z with 95% to the left. So we'll do second distribution, inverse normal. Area is 0.95. U 0 sigma is 1. So we get 1.664. I'm just going to leave that the way it is, but I'm going to abbreviate it on my work. So we have z of alpha over 2 is 1.66. I'm not going to use that, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use the number from the calculator. Sorry, 644. And then our margin of error is 4% margin of error. Okay, so we want 4% margin of error. So E is going to be 0.04, 4%. And then when you don't know P hat, the sample proportion, or Q hat, which is 1 minus the sample proportion, they're both just going to be 50%. Basically, just assume half. Half is going for P, half is going for Q. So our sample size is going to be, let's see here, 1.644. Remember, I'm going to use the calculator version just so it's more accurate. Times 0.5 times 0.5 over 0.04 squared. So I'll pull this up. I'm going to slide this over just to show you what I mean. I'm going to start by squaring this thing. Okay, so I'm just going to grab what I have because it's going to be more accurate with more decimals. Square it, multiply it by 0.5, multiply it by 0.5. Whoops. 0.5 times 0.5. Now that's the entire numerator. Now I'm going to do the denominator, 0.04 squared. So I'm just going to take this top number and divide by the bottom number. So I get 422.7. So that's the exact amount of people you should have in your sample. Okay, well, lopped off at one decimal place. You have to make sure your sample size is large enough for this to work. So let's just say this was 422.2. If I said round to the nearest person, this would round down to 422. But that might now not be enough people. So whenever you're doing these problems, no matter what the decimal is, even if it's 422.0001, to make sure your sample size is large enough, you always round up. So this is going to be 423 people.